Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky, and I am here to do a mommy moment kind of video. It is related to being a mom, but also just being an adult in my mid to late 30s, coming in on the later end of 30s now as of my last birthday. So in February, I injured my back pretty bad, and I was participating in the Blackathon and also trying to read some Black romance. And for that vlog, I read The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. And I injured my back. So that video clip you're going to see right after this one is a very bad angle of me lying down in bed with you propped up. Like you can see the bottom of the laptop because I could not move out of bed for 3 straight days. I was out. So excuse the angle and the audio and stuff like that in that clip. I took it out of my Blackathon vlog. So if you want to hear the story of my injury and stuff, that's in the Blackathon vlog. Luigi's here to say hi as always, my little sidekick here. When I'm down here doing anything, he's in my lap and all over me. Anyways, reading The Neighbor Favor. I won't spoil how I thought about it or anything. Again, you can see that in my vlog. And I should be doing a quarterly wrap up here soon. But that book put me in a little bit of a crisis, a little bit of a life crisis. I have 2 clips that I pulled out of the Blackathon vlog to put just as its own video because I talk so much about it. Just about being over the age of 30 and not knowing what you're doing with your life, not having a set career or job or aspirations in that area, choosing the mom life, the married stay-at-home mom life versus college or career, and just what am I doing with my life kind of panic, I guess. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in these next couple of clips. Thank you for tuning in to hear these moments. This is just a place for me to talk through what's on my mind, what's going on, and if you have any advice, encouragement, life stories of your own, please share them down below. Let's make this an encouraging place to be and to talk and to encourage each other on in the lives that we have chosen, and if we're trying to change things up or whatever it is. And I will see you at the end of these clips.
It is hard when you feel like the only way to succeed in life is to just be so driven and exhausted all the time, basically. And another thing is she's 25 and she's the youngest, and her sisters are like 29, 27, 25-ish in there. And her other sisters are like so accomplished in their careers already and so successful, and they're not even 30 yet. And I'm like, that's amazing. But I'm 36 and I feel like I've accomplished nothing in life in terms of career. I am a mom. I got married at 22. I had my first kid at 24. I have 4 children. It's not like my life is nothing. It's not like I'm just sitting around wasting my life, but career-wise and fulfillment in other areas of my life outside of being a mom has never been there. Like, so many women have careers or career aspirations at least that get put to the side, get put on pause, get put on hold as they've become a mom and they've had to be home with their kids and stuff. And a lot of women do talk about feeling like they lost themselves in that, but they have something to go back to. Like, they had a degree of some kind that they either completed or were working towards when they got pregnant, or they had a career that they just put off to the side while being at home with their young babies or whatever. But I've never had that. I've never had a career to go back to. I've always worked jobs like at a grocery store as a cashier or whatever. And I had a job when I got pregnant with my 4th working at a local craft yarn store. And again, like, that was a good job. I really enjoyed that job. I'm really into crochet and crafting and things like that. So it was a job I enjoyed, but still it was just a cashier kind of thing. It wasn't a career that I was like striving towards, right? So I've always just been like nothing in my life when it comes to a career. And I was listening to the podcast Books Unbound, which is done with Ariel and Raylene, and they're both just turned 29. Like, I think Ariel's birthday's in September and Raylene's is in November. So this coming year, like this year, 2024, they both turned 30, and they're talking about like it's our last year in our 20s and all these things that they want to do and to like kind of wrap out their 20s and bring in the new decade and stuff. And I already feel like I've wasted half my 30s. I've done nothing and I'm not accomplishing anything or working towards anything. And this Neighbor Favor book is just bringing that up more with Lily. The main character is 25 years old and she's stuck in this job for the past 2 years and it's not going anywhere. And even at 25, I'm like, you're 25 and you feel like you're not going anywhere with your career and you're not where you want to be. And I'm 11 years. I'm more than a decade older than that. And what am I doing with my life? And even right now, my son is 2. I could go back to to work, but because I don't have like an established career to go to or even any kind of education, like I didn't go to college or anything, I would have to go back to a job right now that would be just a cashier kind of job, like minimum wage. And nothing wrong with those jobs. Obviously, we need people to do those jobs, and I don't even like hate those jobs. I am a stay-at-home mom, and to go back to a minimum wage job, I would just be paying for daycare.
What was I saying? What was I talking about? Having everything realized and figured out and being so established and settled in your career before your 30s. When I was a kid, I had dreams of doing something that involved some kind of degree, like becoming a vet. I am very allergic to animals, so that is one of the reasons why that wouldn't work out great. But I did think about becoming like somebody, maybe not a marine biologist. I don't think I fully understood what that, I still don't fully understand what that means. And I'm not great at sciences, but working with animals, like where I grew up in Vancouver, there is an aquarium there. So working with animals like that I wouldn't be allergic to would be fun. And being a vet, doing surgeries and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to do that. Maybe a vet tech or somebody who's in a more supporting role to the vet would be more my speed. I don't know. And maybe that's something I could still look into. I don't know. I would say it's never too late to start a career, but really, like if you're 80 and you're looking to become a doctor, maybe it is a little too late for that. But at 36, I mean, becoming a vet tech, that's still an option. But I would still have to deal with animals and be taking allergy shots or something to be dealing with them all the time. Anyways, I never had a career to go back to. Like I always worked jobs like a cashier or something. Mostly cashier jobs, really. Being a stay-at-home mom, it just makes more sense for me to be home right now because I don't have a career that's going to make a lot of money, that me working would just pay for childcare. So there's no point in me going to work right now. And I know that there are people out there that still choose to go to work even if it is just a cashier job, which I mean those are important too. And there are some people out there that are just like super happy and spreading so much joy just as cashiers. And it's amazing, and we need those people. Those are important jobs. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying there are people who go back to these kinds of jobs like a cashier or working fast food or something, and they're not bringing home a lot of money or anything, but they just need that for their own mental health. Their social battery needs to be filled up by working, and they just need that place away from being a mom, being a parent, being with the kids 24 hours a day. And I fully understand that, but for me right now in my life, I am a stay-at-home mom, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a very important job as well. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to success, the way people see it with our career and things like that, that is not something I have personally pursued. And that's what I was saying before my husband called, was in the path of life in the board game, you can go to like career or college kind of thing. And I joke that I took the family path, and I know people who took like the career path, the university path, whatever. So I took the family path, and here I am, and having a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a midlife crisis because that would mean I would only live to be like 72 years old, and I'm hoping to live longer than that. But I'm having a little bit of a life crisis right now about just what I'm meant to do and pursuing dreams and stuff like that. My kids are getting older now. We did have an unexpected baby who's 2 now, but I don't have 4 toddlers running around. So just thinking about what I want to do, where I want to go, things like that. And back in November, I read a book called Mika in Real Life, and she was 35. I don't know if she was turning 36 or just 35, but I remember being like, oh, she's my age. This is cool. And she had nothing figured out. She felt like a failure. She just lost her job, all these things. And I was like, this is really depressing. So even though in some ways we're in the same stage of life, in a lot of ways I was not like Mika at all, but I was like, this is just really, really depressing. But Mika also had a passion in her life for art and wanted to do something in the field of art. I feel like I don't even have that. I don't even have a passion to do as a job. I do enjoy reading, and that's why I started this booktube channel, but this isn't going very well for me. It is a hobby, but like no one's watching. No one is here commenting and having a conversation with me. No one's dialoguing with me. There's no financial reward from putting in all this time and work and effort into this channel at all. So I have no obligation to keep going with it. I can stop at any time, of course, but I don't know, that book really put me through a crisis, I guess. An existential crisis. So that's fun. Cheers. So I don't want to ramble on too much more about what I was talking about. I think I've kind of covered it in the last couple of clips. Just trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life now that I'm in my 30s, later 30s, barreling towards 40 faster than I can comprehend, I feel like some days, and just struggling with my own laziness and procrastination, lack of work ethic. I don't know if work ethic is the right word, but lack of just motivation to work. And I'm just started some new medication, so maybe that will help with having motivation and working towards my goals. It doesn't really matter what the medication is for, but it is not an antidepressant. It is for ADD medication, so we're trying to see if that will help. I know lack of motivation can also be a depressive thing. I don't think I struggle with depression. That's just me. That's not a concern that I've had to bring up with the doctor or anything like that. But I've started this new medication. Maybe that will help with motivation and getting out there and accomplishing some things. I want to do my own video series on this, but I would love to own like a mobile book shop. I think would be really fun. But I've been listening to a few podcasts and stuff, and it's just also very discouraging. They talk about how much work is in it, and I am not a worker. But I also don't want to live my life just being a stay-at-home mom, and then when the kids leave, I'm just at home doing nothing, just crocheting my days away. What do I want to do with the rest of my life? And am I just always going to lean on my husband to be there to bring home all of the bacon? Right now, I would not get a job that would provide for the family financially a lot. I might be able to get a job that would pay for my hobbies, basically, which would still help financially, or to save up to travel or whatever. But what do I want to do with my life? I don't want to just keep sitting around. I feel like I'm even failing as a mom. I've been so tired and exhausted and lack the motivation and energy to do the things that a lot of moms are doing with their kids, especially stay-at-home moms who have more time to do it. I was just talking to my friend today, and she was doing arts and crafts with her 3-year-old and Easter things, and I feel like I don't have the energy or the motivation to do all those fun things, and that's another mommy moment I can talk about later. But yeah, this whole video is just about like, what do I want to do with my life? And I guess not normalizing, but letting you know, like, if you're over 30 and you're out there and you haven't accomplished all of your life goals and dreams and become the top of your field and are this crazy woman boss entrepreneur person, that's okay. That's okay. I'm not that person either, and we're okay. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below. Keep the conversation going, and I will see you next time. I'm hoping to sit down and record a few of these mommy moment videos to put out on Mondays, and I'm thinking of also starting like a marriage moment one where me and my husband sit down and talk about marriage. So maybe I can alternate mommy moments and marriage moments on Mondays. I will talk to you next time. Bye!